In 1998, I left the UK and set out for Amsterdam. Having visited several times, I was captivated by the laid-back lifestyle of the Dutch and the relaxed laws regarding certain substances. These experiences left me yearning for more than just my mundane job at a bank in Bristol. I was inspired by a friend's older brother who had managed to find work in Holland to save up and then travel through Asia. With no clear direction for my future, I knew that immersing myself in new cultures and experiences might provide the answers I was seeking. So at 19, I took the leap and moved permanently from the UK to Holland. Now at 45, I have a deep love and strong affiliation with Holland and the Netherlands, having explored many other countries along the way. I've returned numerous times, but this time I'm taking on a new challenge, cycling around 400 kilometres, revisiting the places where I once lived and discovering new ones along the way. As I embark on this journey, I look forward to seeing how much has changed and reminiscing about the days from 1998 to 2002 when I first embraced the Dutch way of life.
So I woke up early this morning and I'm on the road, just trying to get out of Amsterdam and head south to Noordwijkerhout. It's different from cycling in the UK, where it's great because you've got all these cycle paths, but you're also part of the traffic. So you've got traffic lights, and in a city like Amsterdam, you're treated much like a car. You've got to stop at these traffic lights, otherwise you could get run over. So it's been a bit of a stop and start journey.
In a quarter of a mile,
and again,
at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Burgemeester
Right. I was thinking about the what made us leave Amsterdam. So we were working as a road sweeper, me and this other guy, and we were staying at this. We ended up staying at this mad Dutch football hooligan's house and renting this space in his house. And one day, one of his friends came round and he was all paranoid. Really shifty character, basically pacing up and down the flat, and the Dutch guy said, "Yeah, this is my friend. He sells hand grenades." And we thought he was joking until he put a hand grenade on the table. And me being me, said, "That's not real." Picked it up and it was really heavy, and I realised it was a real hand grenade. So that was our key. That was our cue to basically leave Amsterdam. And we went south. We were looking for work because I knew my friends had found work in the bloembollen, in the Dutch flower bulb industry. So we went south looking for work, pretty much on this route. Took our bags,
take the second exit
bought a bike
and
headed south. And that's what I'm doing today. So I had to stop because the route has taken me right past where we used to stay with the mad Dutch football hooligan. It's in one of these flats. And I only remember it because this building down here with the strange, you see it comes out, it's just suspended in the air. That's where we lived next to. It's crazy. So I'm on the same route as what I did 26 years ago. And this is where we legged it. We're on this cycle path. Magnificent.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. And the dark's all that I see when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound.
I'm just going past Schiphol and the planes. Well, we got under, the cycle path goes under the runway. It's pretty cool. When we landed, we saw the cockpit beneath us. So this plane, I think, is going out. You can see it goes right over the road. There's two on here as well, that's straight over the road. Pretty cool. Another one. And another one. Just as busy as Heathrow, eh?
With my shadow all day, watch the time. I can't find the point where I two pass the line, but you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out.
First time I've seen it. It's a petrol station, not manned, just completely automatic. Can you imagine if that was in England? It wouldn't work. People would just like not pay and drive off.
You'll always be my night sky.
I don't know what they're growing, but that certainly brings back memories. I once had to get back from my auntie's wedding and I had no money, I had no job at the time, so I managed to get a job picking daffodils in a field to get home, and it was piece rate. Yeah, it was at piece rate, so it's something silly like I think 0.5 pence for a bunch, so you had to be pretty fast. And what they used to do, because it was raining a lot of the time, they used to put you in this big shed on wheels, go really slowly along with a tractor, and you had to pick as fast as you could into this thing before the shed sort of caught up with you. And that got harder and harder, especially doing it with a load of Spanish who like to smoke a bit of marijuana. So it turned a bit into like a one big smoky shed. You're trying to do your best to pick these daffodils, but I did it and I saved loads of money and I got home from my auntie's wedding, so it was all good. So I came into Noordwijkerhout and I just didn't recognise the place. Loads of new buildings come up, like a whole new community almost. But behind me is the shop we used to shop at all the time. In the summer this used to be full of travellers getting their food and working in the bowl factories, in the fields. It used to be a hive of people getting their beer at the weekends. Yeah, so it makes me wonder who's working in the fields. Have they been replaced by machines, or are they, it's just different types of people working there, I suppose. Be good to find out. I'm going to try and go to my where I used to work and see if I recognise anyone and let me in. Yeah. In all honesty, what I was saying about the supermarket, it is 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning, Thursday morning, so it's probably why it's not a hive of activity. We used to have a good system where basically what we used to do was, it's really good actually, all the beer bottles and the cans and the crates used to get money back for. So after every event or party, we used to just collect it all and used to get a couple of days shopping out of it. It's good because it means everything's recycled and everything's returned and there's less rubbish. It's a really good system. I'm sure they still do it now, so you just go to the supermarkets and you can recycle all of your bottles and crates. Yeah, I don't see why we don't do that in England. It would solve a lot of problems with rubbish as well, and also give people jobs. You could earn a good tidy living out of just collecting rubbish. So yeah, it's a really good idea. I think everyone should do it, really. Every country should do it. just arrived at the factory I used to work at. I'm not too sure if it's the right one, but there's no one around. I think I'm just gonna go knock on the door or walk in and say hello. So this is Dimitri. When I first, so in 1998, I was 19. And how old were you, Dimitri?
14.
You were 14.
Yeah.
So I worked with his father here in the factory, Hogevors, and his two brothers. Two brothers?
Yeah, two brothers. Peter
Leon
and Leon.
Peter. Yeah. But now you can see he's taller than me. And
grow a little bit.
Typical Dutchman, very tall.
Yeah. It's the weather that we always come big from.
Yeah. But it's great because he doesn't remember me, but he remembers my friend who was Spanish because he went. What happened? He went on strike.
He went on strike. Yeah, the first and only one who ever did it.
Yeah.
It never happened again. So I think it was a little bit of his, but it's a nice memory.
Yeah. So this is a factory that I learned Dutch from Dimitri and a few other people, but I also learned Spanish.
Yeah.
Because I was on the conveyor belt all day, speaking to Jaime who didn't speak English. And then a lot of the Dutch didn't speak English, so I had to learn Dutch and English.
Yeah. Mixed up languages.
Yeah. But I spent probably about a year on the belt. So yeah, I just got fond memories, and I just wanted to say hi to Dimitri. I'm happy he's still here.
Yeah, I will stay here.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else, so I have to do this.
It's a good business though.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks Dimitri, thank you.
You're welcome, no problem.
Come out, it's okay to just
you can walk around.
Thank you.
Go further and I'll see you then in 25 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have a walking stick.
Yeah.
We'll have a walking race.
Yeah. But I don't remember. Thank you very much.
Thanks Dimitri. So yeah, it's just as I remember it. This is incredible. I'm really happy. These are the hyacinth bulbs, and they itch like mad. So if you used to basically plant these. So you used to come off the conveyor belt, and this is a conveyor belt here, and plant them into pots. But they used to itch like mad if they just come off. So you have to be really careful with your hands, because if you started rubbing your eyes and stuff, it used to get really itchy. And these are exactly the same as I remember it. It's crazy. This place hasn't changed one bit. So yeah, we used to plant all the bulbs, and then they used to stack them and then put them in a freeze dry until they're ready to be transported. But this was the famous conveyor belt. This is it, where I learned Spanish. So me and Jaime, with my best friend out here for a while, he couldn't speak English when I met him, and I couldn't speak Spanish. By the end of it, both of us could speak English and Spanish. And a little Dutch as well. And Dimitri, he couldn't remember me, but he could remember Jaime, because he was the only guy that went on strike when we were out in the fields. It was too cold, and he just walked off, said he's not coming back. But he did come back and work for a little longer. So in Holland, it's very important to be on time, and we were always late. I mean, the odds were stacked against me. I was on the campsite living with a Spanish guy that has no track of time. So we were always late. We were always herring it in at work and running through here, hoping we didn't get caught, and then just pretended that we'd been here all morning and just started working at the conveyor belt, and hopefully no one saw us. But I don't expect they did. I expect they always saw us. And then in here is where they stack all the bulbs in the chiller. And in here is where we used to sit. I think it's changed a bit here. This was where we used to sit and chill and have a beer on a Saturday afternoon. It's now an office. But yeah, I used to sit in here and chat and have a beer and on a Saturday afternoon after work. And we used to also do a bit of work out here sometimes. But yeah, incredible. It's amazing. I am so happy that this is still here. So Dimitri was saying that his father passed. No, so there's 3 brothers, and one's passed away, and the other 2 are retired. So it's nice that they're still alive, because it's just good. And Hank, who used to be a taxi driver but also worked here, he was always a bit of a ladies' man, and he was passing on for 40 then. He's apparently in the Philippines and got remarried and got a kid who's 12. So fair play to him. But yeah, brilliant, amazing. I'm really happy that this is still here. And yeah, made up, absolutely made up. Good memories here, really good memories. We saved a lot of money when we stayed here. We weren't on a lot. I mean, in those days we were probably on what, 150 quid a week? But it was so cheap to live when it was guilders. We used to get 500 guilders, 550 guilders a week, which is about 150, I think. But yeah, it was. Everything was really cheap before the euro, and learnt a lot. I learnt 2 languages just by working in a factory. Now, you tell me, I couldn't do that at school. I couldn't learn languages at school. But then you come to do something like this and you learn so much more. You learn about your new culture, 2 new cultures, Spanish and Dutch, and you also learn about hard work, which it was really hard work. Sometimes out in the fields planting bulbs we used to do, but like Dimitri said, he says the machines do that now, there's no need for it. But yeah, fun times, really good times. Really happy that I met Dimitri, and yeah, wish him all the best. When we were staying at the campsite and working in the factory we've just been to, which is all the way up this road here, this crossing here is where I nearly died, because every morning we were late. We used to come out, and one day I was riding this little moped. They're called pooches, and I'm flying out here, straight across here, didn't see the car, went over the bonnet of the car, and luckily I didn't land on my head because I had no helmet, and I had Jaime on the back as well, so it was 2 of us went straight over the bonnet. And how we didn't kill ourselves, I really don't know. We was doing like 30-40 miles an hour around this corner, and where that car is there, I just went straight over the bonnet. Really stupid of us, really crazy and stupid. I think after that I really started looking where I was going, but just around the corner here is where the campsite is, so I don't think it's a campsite anymore. I'm going to go and find out now. Is there still a shop we can get a drink? No, I don't think there is. Is there? No, just chalets. No shop. No. That used to be a shop, I'm sure of it. There's Pete. That's the guy. So I won't put you in camera then. I say this is, so I've just met Pete, Pedro used to run the campsite when we used to stay here, but now he's saying it's all bungalows. But he was an icon. I don't know if he wants to be on camera. But this guy was running when we all used to stay and work.
Yeah, we have here so 150 workers here.
Yeah.
And everybody in the boat.
Yeah,
most
that's right.
of people.
But why now? Why now no workers? It
is a lot of work.
Yeah.
For the Friday nights and the Saturday nights, people go to the pub.
Yeah.
Come back.
That's right.
With a lot of friends.
Yeah.
This from the 150 was in the Friday night 200 people.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
This
It
was
was
a lot of work, and we do it 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
And now we have to rest. We can now 10 o'clock to bed.
yeah,
2 was working till in the morning 5 o'clock.
yeah, yeah. It was hard work. Yeah, very hard work.
People go to the
Sand dunes. Yeah,
sand
yeah,
dunes,
yeah, yeah.
To the beach.
That's right.
Fire, making fire.
Yeah,
Ah, good time.
it was.
I
good
was
time.
young
Yeah.
and no problem. Now I'm 72.
Okay, you look good for 72.
Yeah, that come door the workers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hard working. Okay.
But I'm gonna put you on camera. Pete.
yeah,
This man is a legend. You'll remember him very well. It's Pedro. Is Pedro or Pete?
Pete.
Pete.
But everybody talk Pedro.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
But you used to have a shop here as well. You had a shop.
Next door.
Oh, it's next door.
There was no job more.
Okay.
No.
So why is there no workers here anymore? Why no
Ja,
workers?
er is nog workers, maar all the people go to uitzendbureau.
Okay. And they stay in. They
And
stay
is
in.
in Noordwijkerhout. Dat is Flex. I don't know, but they have, I think, 1,200 people
Okay.
working here in the area, and we have jobs also, and have auto.
Yeah.
Here in the Lisse, in the bulbs.
Kokenhof.
Ja, in de bulbs hier, dus Voorhout, Lisse, Sossenheim, Noordwijkerhout. I think 10,000 people,
Really?
maar allemaal in house. You go niet meer in a tent, or go no more in a little caravan.
It was
a
fun
small
times.
caravan.
It was fun times.
You was
It was-
young, and
Yeah.
I think many people find he the lovers.
Yeah. Yeah. That happened as
same.
well. Yeah. I had an Irish girlfriend here.
Yeah. No. Hey, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Pete. It's lovely seeing you. I'll do. So again, I managed to meet. That was just a coincidence. I was just walking past, and he was putting his caravan away. He's Pedro. He's a bit of a legend. He used to run the campsite. He was a bit like, I suppose, similar to a comical version, a Dutch version of Basil Fawlty and Fawlty Towers. We used to drive him mental. I think a lot of people used to drive him mad, but all in good fun, all in good jest. The man is a bit of a legend. But yeah, it looks like there are still workers, but they're not in campsites. They're all in housing and accommodation, and they go through agencies rather than direct to the farms. So that's good to know. It's good to know if I ever lose my job and come back to Holland and work in the bulb factory. This place is called Selassie, and when the campsite's closed, we all moved in for the winter into these flats. It's changed a lot. This wasn't here. There was a bar. It's been rebuilt. But these were the flats. I think, if I remember rightly, I was either in 3 or 4. I think. I can't remember now. But yeah, it's when things got a bit dark. So all the fun of the summer then ended, and it got dark and cold, and you're working in a flower bulb factory, and it got too much, and I lost my job. Couldn't find any work, didn't have any money, and it got a bit depressing staying here. Everyone went a bit stir crazy, and eventually we got evicted because we couldn't afford the rent. We had no money. So it was time to move, and this was just when I went back to the UK first time and had a rethink before I came back out to Holland, mainly for my auntie's wedding. So I did find a bit of work to, like I said, picking daffodils, but I'd been evicted by then. I can't remember, I must have been staying at someone's house, staying on someone's floor until I went back to the UK. What was interesting, I used to just walk into random farms to try and find work. The first one was opposite this road. I just walked into their garden one morning and they were picking tulips. And there's this lady said, look, can you do this? And I couldn't do it, I couldn't pick the tulips right, and the way she was holding them. So I didn't get any work, but that's how random it was. I was just walking into farms and trying to find work, but in the winter it was really tough because they already had their quota for workers. So yeah, this is where we ended up, and the honeymoon period ended. Still a lot of memories. I got my bike stolen from here. Yeah. I think I'm going to go now back into town and see a couple of things, and then have some lunch and shoot on. This is the famous Bavo. So this was a mental hospital. Looks like it's being renovated. She said it's being renovated. It's boarded up to me. But they used to let the patients out in the village and just have a chat with them. They used to be mad, but they used to have a hell of a time. They were always really friendly. In the mornings they used to be in the road as we were cycling to work, all saying hello. It was quite interesting because around the back here there's a massive garden, and you go right to the end and there's a wall saying go back. That always tickled me. Let's see if I can get up closer and take a look. I think it's all cordoned off. I don't think you can get in there. This guy seemed to manage, but let's see. It doesn't look like there's a way in. Now looking closer, all the windows are smashed. I really hope that they pay some money to renovate it because it's a beautiful building, but I bet it's got some stories to tell. All the patients it's had. See, in wartime, a lot of Dutch went mad because there was no food, and they started eating flower bulbs, which sent them a bit mad, and that carried on through genetics, and that's why. This is what someone told me years ago. I don't know if it's true. I might be wrong. Someone who might know better, but. That's why there's a lot of mental patients around this area due to the war and the famine, and people having to eat flower bulbs. I've actually said it sounds ridiculous, but maybe it's not right, but it's a good story. I'm going to have to be fact checked on that one, I think. This is my favourite Dutch snack, gehaktballen met onion and pindasaus. I'm going to get one of these with chips. So this is my favourite Dutch snack, although he's forgot the mayonnaise, but it's good, it's all good. I'm just going to ask for some mayonnaise.